Welcome to today's adventure. We are going into Quartzsite to explore some more little quirky places that this town has to offer. There's a couple of interesting museums. We're gonna go to the High Jolly Monument. And hey, maybe eat some Silly Al's pizza when we're all done, because that pizza is legendary here. So if you're ready, let's go for a nice little Quartzsite tour. Quartzsite is most famous for its long-term visitor areas, aka the LTVA, where you can stay camped in the same spot for the entire season from October to April for just a fee of $180, which may go up this next year, but we're hoping it's not too much. But with this $180, they have dumpsters for you to throw your trash away. They also have water fill stations to get fresh water, as well as dump stations to empty your tanks, and that's all included in the permit price. This town literally swells to over 1 million people in the winter months, just full of snowbirds and nomads trying to beat the winter snow and cold and trade it for some nice sunny desert off-grid boondocking. The Quartzsite Museum, also known as Tyson Wells Stage Station, was built by Charlie Tyson, who was like an early pioneer back in the day. He built it to be a way station between California and Arizona because of excellent water and grass for the horses, which sounds kind of weird considering it is a rocky, barren desert now. But yeah, they have all kinds of cool stuff displayed, from old bars to different mining equipment they use to haul silver and gold out of the Plumosa Road and Dome Rock areas mainly. They had this really interesting dark room that you could go inside, and these rocks actually glow in the black lights, and you can see these minor impurities in the minerals that slightly alter the chemical bonds in the crystal structure, causing it to glow when you turn the black light on. In February 1980, after extensive restoration work, the original structurally sound walls were retained and others were reinforced. This ceiling is original ceiling made out of saguaro cactus ribs, which is just really awesome. Like, I want to build my ceiling out of that. This next room was a replica of what the stage station looked like back in the day, complete with a coffee grinder and the original fireplace of the station, as well as some other cool little knickknacks and stuff that just show you what their life was like back in the day in Quartzsite. This was the original Quartzsite post office, and the dirt floor in this room is maintained for authenticity because this is how it really looked when it was operational. This outside part of the museum was probably my favorite. I'm just super fascinated by this little mini village. It was built by Walter Beret, who was an early resident in Quartzsite, and he just became fascinated with all the rocks that are around there. I mean, as well you should be. And he decided to make a mini village out of his rock collection. After his death in 1991, his children donated the village to the Quartzsite Historical Society and put it on display here. There was also this incredible fossilized 47-arm cactus that is super impressive, along with some other machinery and railroad carts and other mining equipment donated to the museum, and even a dry washer that they used for clothes washing. Next up, this is a super interesting place, Joe's Gum Gallery. This has got to be one of the biggest collections of gum, and it is all due to a lady named Joanne Brunette, who started this collection when she was only 10 years old because gum was the only thing she could afford. Over the years, she lost the early years of her collection, which dated all the way back to the 1940s. Currently, she has gum from way back in 1965 all the way to the present day. She estimates there are about 4,000 different packages and types of gum in her collection as of now. The gallery showcases antique gumball machines, advertisements, and different gum packages from the United States and 30 different countries. Her husband actually built this 600 square foot backyard gallery for Joanne about 20 years ago, so she could finally unpack all this gum she'd been hanging on to out of the boxes that she had them in and display them for the whole world to see. The oldest gum in her collection is a stick of Wrigley's Double Mint gum from 1932, which is just crazy. I bet that is some stiff gum. Now, if you want to visit Joanne's Gum Gallery, it's not exactly open. It doesn't have regular business hours. So you can find it on Google Maps if you just type in Joanne's Gum Gallery. And then if you just give her a call and tell her when you're going to be there, or, whenever close time that you're going to be there, she leaves the door unlocked and you can just go inside and look around, which is super cool. It's kind of strange when you get there because this is literally like a shed in the backyard of her house. But it was super easy to find and lots of parking, and I highly recommend you check this place out because this is super unique and not a place you'll find it anywhere else, I bet. There is a little donation basket, but she said in no way, shape, or form is it expected. And it's totally cool to just give what you can or just take in all the sights and leave nothing. Next up, we got to take a visit to the Quartzsite Cemetery, which is the last camp of High Jolly, where his tomb is located here. This pyramid of native stone is super cool. All kinds of quartz, lapis lazuli, petrified wood, volcanic rock. Just a really cool tomb. This was the final resting place of Hajjali, who was a Greek born in Syria, also known as Haji Ali. He was hired in 1857 as a camel herder in the U.S. Army's short-lived historic Camel Corps expedition to chart a wagon road across New Mexico and Arizona, ending at the Colorado River. In 1861, the Civil War commenced, ending the day of the Camel Corps. Hajjali then returned to Quartzsite to try his hand at mining, packaging, scouting, and delivering some mail. No visit to Quartzsite would be complete without a nice pizza from Silly Al's. This place is so cool, just an old school feel, really good pizza, good prices, and just a must if you're in the area. All right, it's time to get outside and enjoy some of the fresh air and off-roading that there is to offer in Quartzsite. There are just endless dirt roads out here to explore with all kinds of little treasures to find along the way. This is the Labyrinth in Skadden Wash, and a labyrinth is really cool because it is a path designed to lead to a central point and back out with only one way to follow, unlike a maze which has multiple exits and paths. They are used mainly for walking meditation, spiritual reflection, and stress reduction. Next up, we're going to an old mining house where a family lived while they were mining silver and gold out of the surrounding area. And this one, you definitely are going to need high clearance if you want to get to this one. And it's about 6 or 7 miles back down a real pretty bumpy road, but it is totally worth it because it is just surrounded by great views and just a really cool rock structure that was built in the 1800s. This is Old Quartzsite Mine number 2, which is located right next to the big Q mountain right off the 10. And this is a really good old mine that you can just go walk around and kind of get a feel for what they were doing in this area back in the day, pulling all that gold and silver out of these mountains. These abandoned mines are scattered all over the area around Quartzsite, so definitely take some time and go check them out. If you like hiking, Quartzsite has so much to offer. There is just such beautiful raw desert hiking here with all kinds of different landscapes, different kinds of cactuses to explore. And I mean, let's talk about the rocks that you can find. There's gems here. I found obsidian, agate, of course, lots of quartz, and many other kinds of treasures that you can stumble upon out here, which is just really exciting and cool. I decided to summit this mountain on this beautiful day, and it was absolutely a gorgeous area. This particular hike is part of the Granite Mountain Loop, which you can get to on the edge of Tyson Wash, or from the Love Station off of the 10. You can also access it from there. But it's kind of a hard trail to follow. It gets really thin in some parts and it's kind of wishy-washy to follow, but I wanted to go to the top of the mountain anyways, and it doesn't exactly go there, so I kind of just had to make my own way. And I did, and it was so worth it because there are just amazing 360-degree views of the whole Quartzsite and LTV areas up here. And it was just one of the best views I've seen in a while. So I highly recommend you check it out. Quartzsite definitely has some of the most epic sunsets I've ever seen. So what a way to end this video. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.